Hi, Julie Russo here, creator of Structures of Equality, where we're making sense of number stories. If you're new to structures, they're a reading comprehension tool that helps students better understand math stories. Before we get started, make sure you remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel below. I post weekly videos with actionable tips. Don't forget to ring the bell so you're notified when they're available. I want to talk to you for a few minutes about the term Structures of Equality. It's a term that I made up with some friends of mine several years ago, and it describes two things. It describes the actual model that the students draw or build, but it also describes the systematic approach to comprehending math stories. And the systematic approach is not a procedure. It is not a step-by-step thing that you do to get to the answer. We've tried those before in the past. They really don't work. So when I say systematic, I mean there's a way to introduce a math story. There's a systematic way to introduce a math story to students. And there's a systematic way to model that math story. When we talk about the systematic way to introduce it, we always focus on reading comprehension. And we ask questions that sound very similar to questions you might hear when you're introducing an actual reading story to students. We ask them questions like, are there characters? What's the math main idea? Is there an action occurring? So that's the systematic approach to introducing a math story, and those students will internalize those questions and then be able to do it independently. Now, the systematic way of modeling is that students will model a story using a really cool bar diagram that I call Structures of Equality. That bar diagram is nuanced. So it must have three things. It must have values, it must have labels, and there must be a representation of equality in that Structures of Equality to make it a structure of equality. That's what sets it apart from a standard bar model or a tape model that you might see. When a student's done drawing a structure of equality, they've internalized the story, they understand the relationships, they can tell you what the math main idea is, and then they can solve using a strategy that they've learned in the classroom. I love working with teachers and providing you the support you need to be successful. Let's stay connected. If you're not already on my email list or in my Facebook community, the links to join are below.